Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Reality Is, where words do come to life. And if you subscribe to my channel, you know that I've been reporting on the conditions of Cook County Jail. And you probably seen multiple videos in reference to Cook County Jail. And so today is no different. So I said that every time I received an update as it related to Cook County Jail, I was going to provide that update. So please subscribe to this channel, share, comment, and hit that notification bell so you can know when I load up other videos. So today, I received another message in reference to the conditions inside of Cook County Jail. Now, as I've said in other videos, it's been stated that Cook County jails or some prisons across the United States are pushing for prison reform. And as I've stated in other videos, we have yet to see the result of the push. And so today, when I got this information, I thought to myself when I was reading what I was seeing, and you wonder why these individuals, they go in healthy and they come out and they're sick. You wonder why. And so today, I got this message that was very disturbing to me. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who really could care less about the conditions that happen inside of prison walls. And there are a lot of people who state that those inside of those walls deserve what they get. And there's a lot of people who say if they hadn't done what they did, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that's not always the case. And unless you know the story and the reasons why they're sitting there, then I would not prejudge the situation without all the facts. And whether they was in there for the right reason or the wrong reason, those are still human beings and they should be treated as such across these United States, not only in Cook County Jail, but across these United States. And so today, I already know again that they still don't have one microwave. Now you got 20, 30 guys in a unit to one microwave. I'm not understanding that. It doesn't make sense to me. And then I get this message today that they were fed 1 cup of noodle, 2 slices of bread, 1 Nutri bar, and some jam, jelly, however you want to call it. Bread is carbs, especially for those who are diabetics. A cup of noodle, a small Nutri bar, and a pack of jam. Now, how is that a good meal? I'm not understanding. Where is all this money going that goes inside of those facilities? Because let's break this down again. If they are detained for whatever the reason may be, they're not given anything while they're going inside those walls. Everything they receive, they have to pay for. Now, understanding they don't go in there with money because all their stuff is being taken. So that means the family members have to wait till their process. They get all the information. They get set up in the system. And then they have to find out the commissary day. And then they have to get the money. But if they miss the commissary day, then they have to wait till the next commissary day. So what is going on inside those walls? And again, you wonder why so many of them are sick. Infestation, no hot water, rising numbers in COVID, facility is nasty. Now you got human beings living in these conditions when you, the authorities, won't live in there yourself. When you, the judges, won't live in there yourself. When you, the state's attorney, won't live in there yourself. When you, public defenders, won't live in there yourself. When you, Tom Dart, won't live in there yourself. Tony Preckwinkle, you won't live in those conditions yourself. Governor Pritzker, I'm sure you won't live in those conditions neither. Kim Fox, you're not living in those conditions neither. So why do you think that those loved ones that belong to family members want them living in those type of conditions? And again, as Kim Fox has stated, 85% inside those facilities is Black and brown. Black and brown. 85%. Majority of those individuals have not been to trial yet. But yet they're sitting and being treated like they're not human beings. You hire all these companies that's supposed to provide meals to the inmates. Who's doing the checks and balances? Did anybody check to see that the meals that's being provided is sufficient? Is it nutritional? If you want to keep them locked in there, this is how y'all end up in lawsuits. And for the life of me, for you all to be so smart, you're kind of dumb. Because it's simple solutions to these problems. But you think that people are going to go away and they're not going to continue to address it. And I've told you over and over and over again, we're going to keep addressing it. We're going to keep live streaming. We're going to keep making videos. We're going to keep tweeting. We're going to keep emailing, and we're going to keep writing until we see the change that is needed. Now, your dumb ex-president just pardoned a whole bunch of people, all white folks, for all kinds of crimes that they have done. They get to go home. And then I saw on the flip side, the R&B singer that you all are getting ready to take to trial. So why is it that it's always the Black and the brown who get the short end of the stick and the white folks get to go home? Explain that to me, because I'm not understanding this. I thought that justice is supposed to be fair across the board. I thought that when you took an oath of office, you were supposed to honor that oath of that office. I thought sitting on a bench as a judge that's representing, and it says on your wall, "In God we trust," and you use the Bible, that you would hold up truth and righteousness. But I guess I'm wrong. And I'm not lumping everybody in the same bucket. I'm not. But some of y'all apples are spoiling the bunch. You really are. And a lot of people may not want to hear this, but it needs to be said. COVID has a purpose. And it's been pulling the covers and pulling the shades on a lot of things. Now, I know you all watch these videos. I know you have somebody monitor them. And I get that. But you can watch and you can monitor. But what you need to be doing is showing some actions. Because this is ridiculous. We want to see our loved ones again. Those children that's waiting on their fathers, that their mothers is telling them that they off doing something else besides being held up in the system, that is stalling the process, that put them in positions or put people inside those units that you know are rowdy and disrupted, so they can have a reaction to something that you set inside those walls, so you can write some on their record that they're unruly inside those walls. Because a lot of the things that's being done inside there, you all allow it and you all provoking it. And I'm not saying all the officers, I'm not saying all the COs. I'm not saying that. But come on, let's be realistic. You all are very much aware of what goes on inside of those walls. You got cameras everywhere. Everywhere. So you can't tell me that you don't know what's happening inside those walls. And the treatment of those inmates is harsh. It's cruelty. You lock up people who misuse a dog. So what you saying to me that dogs have more rights than human beings? What's wrong with you judges? What's wrong with the state's attorney? What's wrong with this system? It has failed. And you all keep running this resume. You keep running this line like you give 2 cents and you really don't. Stop talking about it. Walk about it. That's what you need to do. Those individuals that's sitting in there and you have not sent them to trial, you need to send them home. What is the holdup? Why are you stalling the process? How long did it take you to read some documents? How long do it take you to review a video? How long? And then you're setting up people to lose their houses, to drain their finances, to place families in hardship unnecessarily. It's amazing when it comes to white people and they get arrested for something, it takes you no time to process them through, either give them a bond or keep them inside. And most of the time, I don't care how harsh the crime is, it has been proven, it has been shown over and over again that they get to go home. And this is where the roads break. And it needs to stop. If you're going to be an authority and you're not going to hold up what you sign up to do, then like I said in other videos, it's time to remove your asses from the seat. If you're not going to preside over proceedings properly, then you need to be removed from the seat. When a judge can sit on a bench and say they are not prejudiced, that leads to some things to suspect, because you don't have to say what you're not, just show it. When a state's attorney's office go through trial, go through preliminary hearings, go through discoveries, and every time you go there, oh, I haven't read this, oh, I haven't done that. I pass this information to the attorneys, but I haven't had time to look it over. You're stalling the process. Why? You're trying to break the black and brown family. You're trying to break the black and brown man. But you don't want nobody doing it to yours. You don't. See, you all use your authority, your positions, your connections to get yours out. But you want to keep ours in bondage. We traded out chains, handcuffs, and balls for jail cells. That's what we have done. We're in 2020 and we're still living like we was 400 years ago. Yes, some laws have changed, but do we really have freedom? Do we really have a voice? Do we really have rights? Considering what we deal with on a daily basis, considering what has played out over and over from month to month, do we really? Is justice truly blind? It is. It's very much so blind. Attorneys rack up $300 an hour or more for some of them, depending on the situation. Families don't have that kind of money, and you all don't seem to care. You don't care. You go on vacation and just leave a case just hanging. You leave it just hanging when you have all the things that you need to close it and move on. It is a commodity. Jails are money makers. They're not to reform nobody. They're not to change anybody. We understand that. We know that. We see that. It's played out over and over again. And again, for every organization that say you represent prison reform and you're not stepping up to the plate, shame on you. Then you need to close your doors. For every news media outlet that get these stories and they should report them, and you don't, shame on you, because you're not doing what you signed up to do. The scales of justice is not out of balance. The scales of justice are broken completely. That's what they are. And we, Black and brown, are tired of basically, and I'm going to say this, and you all may not like it, of being shitted on, because that's what you do. You think we're supposed to sit back and be okay with the treatment, what you say, and how you do things. And clearly, as I've said in other videos, we have seen things played out from the police to a 17-year-old, and they got to go home. We've seen how it played out when people have misused the system, and your ex-president has pardoned them. But you know what the color has been? They have been all white folks. You don't want to let no Black people out. You don't. They're prejudged before they even walk in somebody's courtroom because of the color of their skin. And these are the things we need to be fighting for. This is what we need to be fighting for. The change that is needed. And then these accidental accidents that come up when inmates put in grievances, when parents try to push and call to check in on their child, and the social worker don't pick up the phone to answer or respond to their concerns. But yet and still, we want to sit in our seats and pop our collars like we're doing something. And you're not doing nothing. You're not. Your officers complain about the conditions and you ignore them. But yet and still, you want to run your resume. And I know this long, but it needs to be said. We're sick of it. And again, as I said before, if you all can't do what's right, and you can't honor your oath of seat, your oath of office, and be true, just, and fair, then you need to get y'all asses out the damn chair. Bottom line, we're sick of it. And every time I get word of what's going on in anybody's prison, I'm going to make a video so it can be known. And we as a race of people need to learn how to stick together to make this change happen. MacArthur Foundation has been funding prison reform for over 2 years. I've been attending meetings and I haven't seen nothing yet. Been promised, okay, where you're going to see some change, and all I hear is a bunch of lips moving. And nothing has came forth out of none of that. None of it. But you pour money where you want to pour money. So is you pour money into the prison reform, or is it a cover up for something else? That's the question. You all run your resumes every election. You run your resume. You say what you know is happening. You say what you're going to do. You say what you're going to change. We don't see none of that. And now is the time that we're pushing back. We're not tolerating this anymore. Enough is enough. And if nobody else, I will speak up. A lot of people don't feel comfortable on these type of platforms, but they have great concerns about their loved ones. And it breaks my heart to know that my son is deceased. But I'm speaking up for every mother who has a child inside those walls, across Illinois, across Michigan, across Florida, across Mississippi, Tennessee. I don't care where they at. We need change. And again, as I close this video, if y'all asses are not going to do your jobs, then you need to vacate the seat. That's all I'm saying. All right, I'm done until I get another update. And every time I get an update, I will continue to do this until we see something different. We will continue to write, we continue to tweet, we continue to email and push the envelope. We're watching, very much so. All right, reality is where words do come to life. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video. Let's conversate. Let's dialogue. I'm sure there are some parents, some relatives who understand what I'm talking about, some ex-offenders who understand what I'm talking about. Chime in on this video. Let me know your thoughts. All right, until we talk again, Merry Christmas.